Hello and welcome. My name is Gail Tatum. I have the privilege today to share some of the good news about the North Penn School District. Those of us who work at North Penn and those of you who have students at North Penn know that good things are happening every day in our schools. We're going to show you some of the highlights of the past year that touch on different aspects of student life in the classroom and in co-curricular activities. We hope you'll just settle back for the next hour and enjoy looking at some of the good things that are happening. The first thing we're going to show you is the Seniors' Choice Awards program, which was brought to North Penn last year by our superintendent, Dr. Edward Bowes. Last spring, members of the senior class voted to honor those teachers who had made the most significant impact on them at some time during their career at North Penn. It could have been a teacher at the elementary level, the middle school level, or at the high school level. The teachers who received the top 100 votes were invited to a banquet that was held at the high school. We're going to show you now two speeches by students who are representatives of the senior class who honored the teachers that evening. It was really a wonderful night. Join me now in listening to those fine speeches.
And we're recognizing tonight 100 teachers who have demonstrated those kinds of qualities and who have made an impact so significant, but yet so personal and unobservable that the senior class, when asked to participate as a whole, identified the 100 honored guests tonight as those teachers who made an impact on their lives. And to speak for their classmates and to represent the senior class, I'm pleased to introduce two North Penn High School outstanding seniors who will be our special speakers for this evening. Both students began their school careers at North Penn and have continued for 12 years. While they are a reflection of many positive influences on their lives, North Penn and its teachers can certainly be credited among those influences as well. Our first speaker, and I've learned that they've decided the order of this, and we're not going to mess with the order. Our first speaker is Chris Cushman, who most recently served as the temporary chair of the high school's mock Republican convention, an event which involved the entire student body and took weeks of planning. Chris has been a member of the boys tennis team for 3 years, the special events coordinator for his class for the past 2 years, and is currently the sports editor of The Accolade, our high school yearbook. In addition, Chris has served as a student government senator and has been a member of the National Honor Society. He plans to attend Penn State University this fall. Jean Sue also was involved with the mock Republican convention and served as the facilities co-chair. She is the academic editor of The Accolade and has served as secretary of her class for the past 3 years. She is vice president of the Chinese Cultural Club and a cheerleader. Jean has been a member of the orchestra for 3 years and a member of the National Honor Society for 2. Sounds like who's who, doesn't it? She plans on majoring in engineering next year and has been accepted by Brown University, Cornell University, University of Pennsylvania, and Penn State. She must make her decision by Monday, but I just learned she's already made her decision, and like Chris, she's going to Penn State to major in engineering. Thank you. I was about to say, please join me in welcoming. You've already done that. Now we'll hear from Chris and Jean.
Good evening and welcome to the 1996 Seniors' Choice Awards. I hope that you have all enjoyed your dinner, and I trust that you haven't wasted anything, for tonight's leftovers are tomorrow's lunch. I hope that you are all getting a kick out of being waited on by your former or current students. I would like to start things off by congratulating all of you for being selected for this award. You are here tonight because you have left a lasting impression on a senior throughout his or her journey throughout North Penn School District. I'm not sure if this is a good or bad impression, but it's a lasting one. I feel that the hardest part about being a student is dealing with the drastic transitions from moving from one school to another. Whether it was the first day of kindergarten, middle school, junior high, or high school, they were all the most frightening experiences for a student. I can clearly remember sitting in the huge auditorium, waiting for my homeroom teacher to take me to my new home in the very large school. My homeroom teachers in 6th, 8th, and 10th grades made my transition into the new school very smooth and easy to deal with. Without these teachers, I would have been a nervous wreck for the remainder of the school year. It is because of you that I have had an exciting and successful K through 12 North Penn experience. You have all played many roles in the lives of your students. You have not only been an educator, but also a motivator, counselor, role model, and most of all, a friend. It is because of your hard work and dedication that North Penn stands out from the other schools. In order for a student to learn, the teacher must be more than just an educator. The student and teacher must be connected by a mutual friendship. Whether it was staying after class, helping during your lunch, or staying after school, you were all willing to help, to do everything that you could to better benefit your students. And on behalf of the entire senior class, I would like to thank you for being there for us. When the students were asked to vote for their favorite teachers, they were given a chance to say something about them. And I would like to take this opportunity to share with you some of these anonymous quotes. Mrs. Hilt, I could always talk to her. Mrs. Clark, kind, understanding, and always willing to help when it was needed. She is great. Mr. Armstrong, warm, encouraging, and made learning fun. Mrs. Loke, gave lots of support and was there with help when you needed it. Mr. Baradelli, very helpful and very kind. Dr. Hubler, went out of his way to tutor me when I was homebound, one of the best teachers that I've ever had. Mrs. Kinsey became a friend that I could talk to. And the list of quotes goes on and on. Those were just a few that I have pulled out because they're dealing with friendship. Listening to those quotes, you can understand how much of an impact teachers have on students just by being their friend. Aside from being an educator and a friend, you have also had the chance to be a role model in some of the lives of your students. Whenever we had a question, you were there with an answer. You could have told us anything and we would have believed you. In fact, I'm sure it's happened a few times. Some students do not have the pleasure of having an adult role model at home. You have become that role model figure in their life. They can look to you for answers, guidance, and just someone to talk to. Through your teaching, you have inspired many students to pursue a teaching career in an effort to be just like you. I would personally like to thank all of the teachers that have had the pleasure of having me in class, because without their help, I would not be who I am today. I would once again like to congratulate all of you, and I hope that you continue to touch the lives of students just like you have with the class of 1996. Thank you.
The words, "just ask," echo in my head for every classroom I enter. It was a piece of advice given by an 8th grade geometry teacher who feared his classroom of blank faces was more than a sign of confusion and was a sign of confusion and not understanding. Every year as the courses grow more and more difficult, I think of this teacher's suggestion, as well as all the other helpful hints, hours of after-school tutoring or explicit directions that teachers gave to guide me in life. Only through your guidance and help could we and can we continue in our academic, personal, and social lives with the confidence to succeed in all that we endeavor. It is in playing the role of counselor that you take the concerns of the students as almost your own and express to us the sincere hopes you have for us. Whether it be on increasing that SAT verbal score another 100 points, or some experienced advice about boyfriends and maybe sometimes girlfriends, or tips on fishing, or houseplants, or summer jobs. We really value your opinion and wisdom far more than you might think. We turn to you in our times of tribulation because we know a certain fact of truth. We know from where we had already received much of the knowledge and skills that we have now, and that was through you, the teacher. The most basic and simple role of the educator is the one we started out with, but also turn right back to again and again. This teacher job that all of you applied to not too long ago was no average career. You filled the shoes of the most important and powerful people in the world. You teach the generation of youth who are going to live on the moon, end world hunger, and bring peace to the world. Little did you know that you would be molding the future. From kindergarten to 12th grade, I've had the privilege to be taught by caring, motivating, thoughtful individuals who put a reason behind filling in the blanks of a worksheet, or reading 20 pages of Melville's Moby Dick, or swimming 15 more laps in the pool. Sure, personal satisfaction, or maybe even the wrath of parents, cause or push us to work in school, but it is the teacher whom we seek to please and impress. We want you to know that first of all, we can learn, and second of all, we did learn something. Even now, I can't possibly look forward to college or the future without looking back and remembering the people who really mattered, who really helped me get to where I am now, or will be 5, 10, 20 years from now. Your motivation, friendship, words of wisdom, and most importantly, your teaching will last beyond the classroom and stay with every one of us students wherever life leads us. In this respect, I hope I've taught every teacher honored here this evening a lesson or two about how much we appreciate your efforts. Thank you from all of us, the class of 1996.
That was a wonderful evening for our North Penn teachers and a chance for them to hear how important they were in the lives of the students. Now we're going to be looking at a segment which looks at the North Penn Marching Knights, the indoor percussion ensemble, and the indoor visual ensemble. These students put a tremendous amount of time in and reach remarkable levels of achievement. The first part is an on-location segment hosted by North Penn senior Brian Clementis, and then 2 performances, first by the percussion ensemble and next by the indoor visual ensemble.
Since the middle of August, the Knights have been practicing for a full year of competition. I'm standing here in the Seapot parking lot where the North Penn Marching Knights call home.
Marching Knights, you're going to the stadium. Marching Knights, you should be at the stadium.
The participants in the Marching Knights get up early for the Day of States. About 8 a.m. they have to be on the practice field where they warm up and do stretches.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3.
After warm-up, the band does what is known as a drill down.
The box should be even out. We're pretty heavy on one side right now, please.
A drill down is where one person shouts out marching commands until one person is left.
Press left, hut. Left flank, hut. Right flank, hut. Left flank, hut. Back, hold.
Bend, 10, hut. Mark time, hut. Backwards, hut.
Hut, right flank, hut to the rear, hut to the rear, hut, left flank, hut, right flank, hut, left flank, hut to the rear.
This year, Chris Taylor won drill down and was given a huge reward.
Collection $21 in winnings. There you go. I got a lot of
21 bucks.
Even though it was cold, it was a great day for marching.
Keep your mind straight. Keep your eyes and ears open. Be alert to what it is that you're here to do. You've done all the steps leading to this day. It only seems the reason that you finish this day off correctly, without a doubt.
The band then splits into the groups and does warm-ups to adjust to the cold weather. In these groups, they run through scales and do mouth stretches to loosen up their muscles. And the guard also goes by themselves to do spins to warm up and do some tosses to adjust to the wind. They then practice the show over and over again until they get it just right.
Up to the roll, going on the play.
And this time, they hit it. For about 2 hours, they do this, and then they break for lunch. After lunch, they pack their gear and then wait for the bus. By this time, the excitement and energy is high.
It's just when you get on the field, you get this rush that goes through you. It's nothing that you can explain. It's more like you just get on the field and something comes over you and you march the show and you get off the field, it's like it never happened. It's just absolutely amazing.
I'm just going to pump everybody up, hype everybody up, because I want them, like especially the sophomores, to understand that you only get 3 years and you got to make the best of every year because it's just an incredible thing.
It is so hard to describe. You'll never have another feeling like it in your entire life. It is so exhilarating. It's great. I love it.
Now they are on their way. As soon as they arrive, they have their uniforms on and they're ready for competition. With less than an hour, they go off into their separate units to warm up. After warm-up, they march back to the stadium to hear some final words.
You know that your staff is out watching you with great spirit and hope. You know that there are years and years and decades of alumni that are here. All kinds of wonderful, warm ghosts are on that field. They'll be there to help you, too. But most importantly, it's deep inside. You collect that feeling, that sense of self, that pride, that dignity, that poise. You take that with you. You take that with you. That's a blessing you've been given to this moment. Use it up. Use it up. Soak in it. Get nice and tall, nice and proud, and make sure you know all you gotta do is do what you do well. That is be the North Penn Marching Knights.
And now, it's ready for showtime. With cheers from the crowd, the Knights left everyone with their hearts racing. Now, all there is to do is wait for the judge's decision.
First place, then in second place, 95.5, North Penn.
And this day certainly does not end here. And as always, the Knights give a special parking lot performance for all their devoted fans.
No matter who says anything in that stadium, these are champions all the time. My drum majors, St. World's kind of loaded. Enjoy this, ladies and gentlemen.
After a long ride home, the Marching Knights return to a parking lot full of honking horns, flashing lights, and cheering parents. An end to an eventful day and an eventful season. For North Penn Television, I'm Brian Clementis.
These 3 performance groups are great, and they always represent North Penn so well, on and off the field. Now we're going to take a look at some of the elementary programs that North Penn has to offer. The first thing we're going to show you is a remarkable string quintet. These young people have a level of competence that you won't believe for their young age. I know you're going to enjoy that. The next segment is the North Penn Elementary Honors Band. This is composed of 100 students who are selected from all 13 elementary schools in the district, and each spring they put on a performance that is just remarkable for their age. You'll be seeing a guest conductor who is brought in for that special performance. The final 2 segments are both on-location segments. The first one deals with the North Wales Elementary School STARS program, which is funded by the North Penn School District Educational Foundation. And the second one is a NAP Math Night. Math nights are typical all around North Penn schools, and this is just one that'll give you a sense of what they're like everywhere in all of our schools. Join me now in looking at these 4 segments.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Montgomery Elementary School. This is a special group. We call it a quintet because we have 5 players. We have Elise Chung playing first violin. We have Elena Uriosity playing second violin. At this moment, keep your eye on them because they're going to be switching back and forth. We have Cindy Gorn playing viola, and Andrew Lessman playing bass, and I'm Mr. Staley, the string instructor here at this school. Our first number is Within an Arbor.
you with each one of those items.
These students at North Wales Elementary School are about to start a day of learning and fun. They are participating in the STARS program. The STARS program stands for Students Taking Academic Risks Successfully. The program is designed to strengthen group processing skills and critical thinking skills. The purpose of the day was to start students on the right path towards learning.
We'd like to think realistically that we're simply planting a seed. We're planting the seed that the students can do it. They have it within themselves to be able to be successful at school. We'd like them to begin to think more about what they're doing. And if we can have them leaving here just simply on a slightly different metacognitive plane, we can have them leaving here beginning to think more about themselves in school, think more about their own learning, think more about what's actually going on around them, that they'll begin to utilize more of their own skills and not just simply opt out for the easy route.
This goes back to being the real crucial piece, and
the idea has been in the making for quite some time, but last year Mike McNerney and Lisa Signorovich got the ball rolling for a seminar to be held this fall. They found the 3 people at North Wales Elementary that would be critical to the program: the librarian to teach the students research skills, the gifted support teacher to develop critical thinking skills, and the school writing specialist. But to make this program a success, everyone needed to be involved.
That you did, but that's something that I want to constantly reinforce.
We went out to the parents and said, you know, we could use your support. We have to convince the students that this is something that it's not only us, but it's also you. We need a much larger definition of we. We got some input from some parents. We got tremendous parent support for volunteers, and they gave us some additional ideas and some input, and we just kept bending it, twisting it, and evolving it. And I don't know that right now it's any one person's idea.
The leadership workshop was open to the entire school. About 60 students from North Wales Elementary attended the 2-day workshop. The STARS program started with a motivational speaker on Friday night, and the actual workshops began on Saturday. The day started at 8:30 and lasted to about 3:30 that afternoon.
We can teach you how to learn. And today in the library, I want to give you some tools, some skills that you
The
can
workshop
use
included
for the rest of
areas
your
in
life.
public speaking, research, organizational skills, critical thinking, and conflict resolution.
You need to know how to think, you need to know where to go to get information, you need to know how to put it all into an effective written form, and you need to have some organization, you need to have some ability to study, you need to be able to work with other people effectively, and you need to be able to orally communicate. You need to be able to talk in front of people.
Hey, David, finding it? No, not yet.
These students have been assigned to find all they can about the Seminole Indians with all the resources available to them.
So far we found out that they live in the southeast in small huts, and they also made quilts.
The teachers look forward to seeing the 5th and 6th grade students using leadership skills with younger children in school.
And someone becomes angered, and it just escalates because it wasn't handled in a good way.
The team effort of the principal, teachers, staff, parents, and students made this day a tremendous success. All involved look forward to this great experience next year. For North Penn Television, I'm Heather Rogers.
Math night. To many, this may not sound like fun, but changing the negative mindset about math is one of the many goals of North Penn's Math Night programs.
Math Night has a couple goals, a couple premises behind it. And as I mentioned, one of the ones that I would like to see is that parents and students are working together. For one, they're doing math in a different version than maybe what they see in the classroom. We aren't doing add, subtract, multiply, and divide per se. We're doing more global problems. We're doing a wide variety of things. We're seeing math in a different context, and really just seeing math as fun. So all those are definitely premises of the activity, is to invigorate students' interest in mathematics, to see its application outside of what they normally see its confines to be, that is in a classroom.
Math Night is a program that first began at the Gwynnor Elementary School and is now 5 years in the running. With the help of volunteer teachers, parents, and local merchants, these workshops have visited every elementary school in the district. Usually these math nights will gather anywhere from 150 to 300 students and parents. What does a math night look like? Well, first, parents and students will mill around to different stations, trying out different problems for the first 15 minutes or so. Then the whole group works on a particular problem. After the head scratching and chin rubbing, the group problem has been solved. The parents and students then head off to math stations spread throughout the school. These stations incorporate activities for grades K through 6. As you can imagine, one of the bigger challenges in organizing the math nights is to provide stimulating and challenging activities to the varying age levels.
We try to pick activities that don't require a lot of computational skill, but will be challenging. So it ends up often being spatial relationship, logic problems, reasoning activities, things that really surpass all the grade levels and don't have a requirement. You'll see many activities, it's intriguing, you'll see many activities that the kids really do better than their parents. And that's when they're trying. That's when both are trying, that are able to do them as well or better than the parents because it doesn't have a certain requirement of being able to add, subtract, multiply, and divide.
Another goal is to experience the broad range of what mathematics is about, not just your basic computation.
Many nights there's no numbers mentioned. They're all geometry activities, logic and puzzle kind of problems where you have to organize things. Or if numbers do come into it, they come into it with only incidentally, maybe numbers like 1, 2, and 3. So intended to design that whole range of math activities.
Since Math Night returns every year, new sessions and workshops are constantly being added to keep the program fresh.
I try to make things that are often hands-on. You put your hands on it, you move something around, you solve a problem you haven't seen before. And those are the ones that I like to pick, and I hope there's a hot spot in every math night, something that people say, wow, that was really an interesting activity. I really didn't expect that result. What I try to do within the session is, or within the math night experience, is make sure that it's different every year. They see it was really a fun activity. I really did get involved. I was challenged tonight, and the time went very fast. Comments like that would definitely be the case for most of the math nights that we've had. I'm happy that math night's been established here and has a track record. I'm happy to say that I've met thousands and thousands of students and parents because of this activity, and without it I wouldn't have, because I'm not in the elementary classrooms teaching those kids on a daily basis, and this gives me the opportunity to interact with students and parents that I wouldn't have without it. So that's one that I appreciate. As well, if I can bring the message of mathematics in whatever form, but especially in that mathematics is for something, that it's fun, that it has a wide range of skills and it involves everyone. If I can bring that message to the schools successfully, then the whole venture has been worthwhile for me.
And worthwhile it is.
There are always exciting things happening in our North Penn elementary schools. Now we're going to be talking to you about our North Penn music program. Hundreds of students each year are involved in this wonderful program, which begins as early as 3rd grade and continues on through high school. Students learn to play an instrument, learn to sing in a chorus, or just learn to enjoy music. We're going to begin with a glance at the North Penn program, and then we're going to continue with selections from 4 secondary level concerts that were held during the past year. The first is a choral concert from the Penndale Middle School. Next will be selections from an orchestra concert at the high school. We're going to follow that with a performance by the North Penn Chamber Singers and end it with a wonderful version of the Battle Hymn of the Republic, which is sung by our over 200-voice North Penn High School chorus. Let's take a look at that together.
Music is a way of learning, integrating all disciplines of education, creating a learning environment where children want to learn. Music is an important part of the classroom curriculum. Children experience history and world cultures as they listen to and perform music of other times and places.
What music means to me is to get a better education, making the sounds of the music and playing the notes.
Education in the arts promotes higher-level thinking skills by fostering creativity, imagination, self-discipline, teamwork, and self-esteem. Involvement in a music program leads to higher SAT scores.
The music program at North Penn has provided me with the skills I need to either pursue a career in music or even a hobby. I know that the North Penn music program will have provided me with the skills that I need to do so.
Music instills a sense of cultural identity and pride in our children. Music is the beat of education.
It's wonderful that North Penn offers the chance to so many students to be part of musical performances. Finally, we're going to be taking a look at North Penn High School graduation. I had the chance to talk to the 4 valedictorians for the class of 1996 and was very impressed by the things that they had to say about their time at North Penn. 2 of them are now classmates at the University of Pennsylvania, and 2 are classmates at Harvard. Finally, we're going to be showing you the emotions and the faces of students as they participate in graduation activities, both the reflections activities that takes place in the high school the night before graduation and commencement itself. We think you'll enjoy seeing how emotional and exciting this is for our students. Let's take a look at that together. Hello and welcome to A Closer Look. My name is Gail Tatum. With me today are 4 valedictorians. That's right, 4 valedictorians for the class of 1996 at North Penn High School. With me are Brian Questad, Al Luna, Christina Herbert, and June Choi. Welcome. I'm glad you're all with me today.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're very proud of you. I don't know if you understand the accomplishment that you have made by being valedictorians, but it certainly is a testimony to the fact that you all have worked very hard in school and taken your studies seriously, and we all are very, very proud of you, which is great. Well, you've all been at North Penn for a while. Tell me what you feel North Penn has given to you. Are there things that you feel have been important that it's helped you with? Who would like to go first? Brian?
I will. Excuse me. I think that the most I've got from North Penn comes from the diversity of the different people. There's so many different kinds of people, and there's so many different views represented, and I think that it's taught me sort of like a respect for other people and what they believe, and it taught me to realize that other people believe what they believe for a reason and not to be so judgmental. And
that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. I think with the student body this large, that's one of the benefits, isn't it? That you see lots of different people. Would you agree with that, others of you?
Definitely.
Yes? You feel that same way? That same way. Are there other things that you feel have been important at North Penn?
I thought the education was terrific. I mean, I moved here from Lower Moreland, and it was a really tiny school. And then coming here with so many people, it was, I think, they really encouraged me to do well, and it was a lot more competitive.
And clearly you met the match here.
Right.
You've done very well. That's good. That's good. June, what about you? How do you feel about North Penn? And I know you've told me you felt okay about it. Are there things you think we could do better than this?
Well, as Brian said, I really love the diversity, and I think there is no other school in the area that does quite as good a job about making a majority student feel welcome. And I think that's a great part of the school, and I do think the academic curriculum is strong, but I think just the one thing we could do to make North Penn even better is everybody just concentrate on the education and just focus on that. And I think if we can keep children in mind, you know, always whatever decision we make, then we will always make the right decision.
That's good. That's good. As a head of the Korean American Cultural Society, you represent other members of your cultural background. Do you feel that your group feels included at North Penn?
I think North Penn is a place where you can be as included as you want. It's if some people are very included and some people are not, but it's just a matter of how much you want to be included. It's not a matter of being excluded, and I think that's great.
That's good. That's good that people didn't feel excluded. That's good.
Some people sort of choose to exclude themselves, unfortunately.
But that's you know, their choice. And
That's good. That's good. I know you're all about to launch out into society and begin new steps for yourself, and I'm sure you don't know what you're going to be doing yet. You don't. There's no reason for you to have any sense of that. But do you have any wishes for yourself, or for other people, or for society in general that you would wish for them, Brian?
Well, now that you mention it, I think. Well, I don't know what's going to happen, and I know that there's no way that I can make the world a better place because I don't know what everybody wants. I don't know what people are looking for. If I did, then I would try and give it to them. But I think that what is really important to me personally, maybe not to everyone else, but I think it would help, is if everybody would take time each day just to sit and figure out what they really believe and who they really are, rather than just running around all the time, being completely confused, and giving lip service to things that they don't really believe in just because that's what people tell them to believe in. And I think it's more important for you to be comfortable with yourself than to try to please everyone else by just saying something.
That's a nice wish.
Yeah.
That's a nice wish. I would like to see that happen as well. That
Yeah,
would be
well,
a nice
I don't know
thing.
about that.
It may. How about you? Do you have any thoughts?
My one wish,
Yes.
and it sounds sort of like a Miss America wish,
Yeah.
but I don't have any concrete ideas, but I think one very important thing would be that if we could just all try to understand just a little bit about what another person might be feeling in this situation, if we forget about ourselves for just a second and try to promote somebody else's welfare, you know, it doesn't have to be that's what your life calling. If just for a second you can do that, and I think a lot of the world's problems would be solved. Not solved, but we could all understand, and there wouldn't be as much conflict. And I know that sounds very ideal and naive, but I think that's a very simple solution to the violence and the hatred.
Well, we'd be mindful of somebody else's position before we leap to conclusions and avoid
It's hard for people to realize that, I mean, I don't even know if it's true, but it seems like everyone probably sees things completely differently, just because we've all lived different lives.
That's right.
And I think it's hard for people to look at someone else and listen to what they say, and before they say anything, think, well, maybe if I was them, I would think the same thing. And people get caught up in they think everyone should see things the same way they do.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
doesn't always happen.
Society
reads
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
If we could just, if we can all just clear our minds a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you want to add anything, Christina? Things that you would hope for?
Let's see, I guess I would say, to improve the world, if everyone would just kind of improve themselves first, I think things would work out better. If they would strive to do their best and be the best person they can be, the whole world would be a better place.
Be a better place.
Congratulations, North Penn High School class of 1996. I'm pleased to have this opportunity, my first opportunity, to address the graduating class. And I want to pass on a bit of wisdom I've picked up over the years that might help you as you grow up and you grow into life and begin a life more independently your own. I'm going to talk to you for a brief period of time about excellence. I'm going to suggest to you that excellence is not a destination, but it's a journey. It's like perfection. Nobody's perfect, but trying to be perfect is okay. To get it right, you never stop trying. You're always improving, becoming better, and you learn not to accept less than your personal best. That's effort. And the destination is never obtained, but the journey toward it is a tireless effort and bears great rewards. God did not make any perfect human beings, but he did provide us the opportunity to strive for perfection. You have established a strong foundation. This is a good launch for each of your personal, independent lives. It's a good beginning. In fact, isn't that what a commencement is? Or is it an ending? Winston Churchill said, "It's not the beginning, it's not the end, but it's the end of the beginning." Your attitude and what you apply as attitude toward all your endeavors is more important than your talent. A good positive attitude develops a great talent. You can start out with a great talent, but with a poor attitude, fail to achieve all that you're capable of achieving. You've learned that, we hope, during all your years and your concluding years at North Penn High School. And the best gift you can give to yourself is an attitude toward being a lifelong learner. This is not the end of your education. For some, it may be the end of your formal education, but if you've learned the important things in life, you've learned that you never stop learning. And along with the knowledge that excellence and perfection are not ends, they're not destinations, but they're journeys. If you can remember those simple words of advice, you'll serve yourself well. And after all, nobody deserves it more than you do. So please accept my very best wishes for a good launch to your independent life as a young adult, and congratulations to the class of 1996.
Commencement really is an exciting time for everyone involved, the parents and the students and the teachers. Well, that's our show. It's a glimpse of the past year of North Penn. We know there's a lot more that we could have shown you, and perhaps in future shows we'll be able to do that. We hope you share in our sense of pride for the accomplishments of our students, and thanks for the teachers who guide them along the way. We want to thank the parents who come to the events that we have and who support their students as they grow and learn. Public education really is a partnership of people who care about youth. North Penn really takes that partnership very seriously. I'm Gail Tatum. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.